The two important control loops in power system. Two control loops are which ultimately controls the frequency and voltage. In the entire power system, we will talk about this frequency and voltage. Now, let us see what is the first control loop. The first one is the megawatt generation control loop. Megawatt generation control loop. So it is the first one, and what it indicates. So this generation control, it is a megawatt generation control. In order to control the generation, you have to control the input to the turbine. So this is ultimately done by controlling the input to the turbine. Control of input to the turbine. The first control loop, it is a megawatt generation control loop. So here the megawatt generation control loop, it can be done by controlling the input to the turbine input. Now this megawatt generation control loop, so it is also called as a load frequency control, automatic load frequency control, and it is also called as a automatic generation control, and it is a well known as a AGC, automatic generation control loop, and it is also called as a megawatt frequency control loop. Same control loop, so we can call it as a load frequency control, automatic load frequency control, automatic generation control, and megawatt frequency control loop. Here, ultimate aim of this control loop is to control the real power generation. Megawatt generation control means, so you have to control the real power generation. How real power generation can be controlled? By controlling input to the turbine. What are the inputs to the turbine? So if we consider thermal power plant, the steam will be the input to the turbine. By controlling the steam to the turbine, then you can control the output of the alternator. And if we consider the hydel power plant, then the input to the turbine is water. Control of input to the turbine directly controls the generation from the alternator. So in this manner, you can control the real power generation by using this control loop. This is also called as a load frequency control, automatic load frequency control, automatic generation control, and megawatt frequency control loop. In some others may use the load frequency control in a simple manner, LFC. If we consider the modern power system analysis by Nagaraj Kothari, he used this term load frequency control. And automatic generation control, Alan J. Wood in that book, so he used automatic generation control. But ultimately, this control loop will do the exercise in such a way that the frequency will be maintained as a constant. So this is the ultimate aim of this control loop. So among the two control loops, the first one is the megawatt generation control loop. So that is. And another one is MVAR generation control loop. MVAR generation control loop. This is the second control loop. This control loop, it is also called as a excitation control loop. Excitation control loop. MVAR MVAR V control loop. And simply it is called as a QV control loop. QV control loop. These are the other names of this control loop. Excitation control loop, MVAR, control loop. So you correct it. So it is a MVR control loop, and another one is a QV control loop. So this ultimate aim of this control loop is to maintain the voltage as a constant, to control the voltage. That is the main aim, to control voltage. How to control this voltage? So this voltage control can be done by the controlling reactive power. Voltage can be controlled by controlling the reactive power. How the reactive power is controlled? By controlling the excitation system of the alternator. Excitation of the alternator. So how to change the excitation of the alternator? By using the excitation system. In this manner, you can control the excitation. Ultimately, reactive power will be controlled, and so that we can maintain the voltage as a constant. This is with respect to the second control. So it is a MVAR, generation control loop, and it is called as a excitation control, MVAR, voltage control loop, and QV control. QV means it is a reactive power and voltage. So reactive power, if the reactive power balance is there and voltage will be under specified limits, and we can maintain the rated value. And Q, it is a term in terms of the MVAR, V control. So like real power we have mentioned in megawatt. So it is a MVAR, V control and excitation control. Why it is called as excitation control? Because by controlling the excitation of the alternator, we are maintaining the voltage as a constant. So that's why it is called as a excitation control. All are the same. Here, this megawatt generation control loop, it is somewhat slow in response. The megawatt generation control loop is a slow in response, whereas this one, megawatt generation control, it is a fast. Because in this megawatt generation control loop, we have the rotating devices such as turbine we will have, and alternator we will have. Each and every rotating device definitely will have certain time constant. So certainly it has some time constant, and if we give some input, then it will take certain time to change the output. So that's why it involves the certain time constants in the turbine and the alternator. As it has the rotating devices, so it has a certain time constant. So if you want to change the output of an alternator, so there should be a change in the input to the turbine, and the same effect has to be changed to the alternator. It is a sequence process. If you want to change the output of the alternator, you have to control the input to the turbine, and later, so output of the turbine will be changes, and input that has to be given to the alternator, and output of the alternator will be changes. So this is a process. So in this process, it takes a certain time. That's why megawatt generation control loop is a slower. And if we talk about this MVR generation control loop, it is a fast, because it has only exciter. It has only exciter. So that's why it is a faster compared to the megawatt generation control. Ultimately, what I want to say is that excitation control is faster than load frequency control. That is the result if we compare both megawatt generation control and MVR generation control. So in the entire power system, we know that we have to maintain the frequency and voltage as a constant. In order to maintain that, we should have some control loops in the power system. Those control loops are megawatt generation control loop and MVAR generation control loop. Now, let us see if these two control loops are incorporated or integrated so that entire power system can be controlled. We should have the one block diagram. We should have one block diagram which integrates these two megawatt generation control loop and MVA or generation control loop, so that at the same time we can control the frequency and voltage. Now our aim is to discuss about the block diagram which combines these two control loops. This is the block diagram which combines two control loops: generation control, megawatt generation control loop and excitation control loop. Here, this is the control valve. Control valve, it controls input to the turbine. It controls input to the turbine. Input to the turbine may be steam and idle, depends upon the power plant. And this turbine will be coupled to the alternator through the shaft. So it is called as a rotating mass. So if the turbine rotates and alternator also rotates, these two are coupled together. So turbine and alternator coupled together. And here this is not a single turbine. This is not a single turbine. Whether single turbine or two turbines or three turbines, it is depends upon the capacity of the alternator. If you use 500 megawatt alternator, then you have to go for the 3-stage turbines, 3 stages of turbines. If the less rating is used, if the rating of the alternator is very less, then you can go for the single turbine. But if the rating of the alternator is approximately 500 megawatt, then you have to go for the 3 stages of the turbine. These 3 stages of the turbine are high pressure turbine and intermediate pressure turbines and low pressure turbines. These are the 3 stages of the turbines. And moreover, all these 3 turbines are coupled together, which forms the turbine system, and it will be coupled to the alternator. That means this high pressure turbine, intermediate pressure turbine and low pressure turbine, all these turbines are coupled together and it will forms the turbine system. And the turbine system, so suppose if we consider this is the turbine system and we are using the alternator of 500 megawatt, and these turbine system consisting of all these high pressure, intermediate and low pressure turbines and coupled together in this and connected to the alternator through the rotating mass. Here the turbine is the number of the stages of the turbine is decided by the rating of an alternator. So that's what I want to say. Here how these two control loops are operating in this system. This is a coupling between the turbine and alternator, and output of the alternator, so you will get the 3-phase AC supply. So these are the 3 lines and 3 phases we are getting as a output of an alternator. Let us see, it is the speed sensor and comparator. If you want to change the speed of the turbine, here the speed sensor will sense the speed of the turbine and this will be given to the comparator. Suppose the speed sensor senses as a W of the turbine, speed of the turbine, and this will be fed to the comparator, where this speed will be compared with the reference value, some reference value. So we wanted to maintain the turbine speed as a certain value, which is nothing but it is a desired, value. It is called as a desired value. You want to rotate the turbine at a desired value, and that is given as a input to the comparator, and another input is the actual speed of the turbine, and these two will be compared here, and there will be a error. So it is a delta omega is a error, and that is given to the PF controller, and real power and frequency controller. This is a happen. Depends upon the error and it will be processed. Let us consider one case. The speed of the alternator is in such a way that it is a greater than the reference value. Greater than the reference value or the desired value. Then what we will get, delta omega will be positive because omega reference is a certain value and the actual value is greater than the omega reference value. So the change in the speed will be positive and this is given to the PF controller. Then as the speed of the turbine is more, we have to bring back to the reference value or desired value. That is our aim. How it is happening here. So that error will be given to the PF controller and this PF controller will exercise the error and give the give the signal to the valve controller, and this valve controller will control this valve in such a way that the input to the turbine will be decreased. Input to the turbine will be decreased. If the input to the turbine is decreased, then the speed of the turbine will be decreased, and this will be the continuous process until delta omega will becomes 0. Delta omega becomes 0. That means the actual value should be equal to the reference value. So that's why it is an automatic process. That's why it is also called as an automatic load frequency control. By itself, it adjusts the speed of the turbine. Here, what happened? The speed sensor will sense or measures the speed of the turbine, and it will give the actual speed to the comparator and compares with the desired value. And if it is a more than the desired value, delta omega error will be the positive and it will be fed to the PF controller, and the PF controller will control the input to the turbine in such a way that input to the turbine will be less. Input to the turbine will be less. The speed will be reduced until it is equal to the omega reference. So this is the happened here. Now another aspect is that power controller. So it is a power controller and it is a actually manual control. It is a manual control. If you want to get the fixed amount of the power, suppose we are generating 500 megawatt, okay, but you want to generate 550 megawatt. It is a it may the system may or may not be required this 550, but intentionally, so you want to generate the extra power, or if you want to generate the fixed amount of the power, then you can use the power controller, and it is a manual control. So here what will happen again, so this will be this power controller, so will be matches the desired, so it will have actually the P desired will be there, so it is a P desired will be there. So P desired it will be 550 P desired will be 550 megawatt, and input to that it will be P actual, so it is a P 500 megawatt. It is a actual, P actual, and these two are compared, and the arrow mark should be like this, arrow mark. So the difference of this will be given to the PF controller. So here the 550 megawatt and 500 megawatt, there will be a positive error, error. So this will be given to the PF controller, and the PF controller will control the input to the turbine in such a way that output power will be increased and more steam will be allowed to the turbine, so that output of the alternator will be increased, so that 550 megawatt we will get it. It is the manual control operation and it is the automatic load frequency control operation. So, and another one is the frequency sensor. So here the frequency sensor will sense what is the frequency of the generated supply. So the frequency will be measured by the frequency sensor, and here the comparator. So we have the F rated. We will have the F rated. So this will be the the actual system frequency will be compared with the F rated value. Suppose it is a 50 Hz, and this actual frequency and this 50 Hz will be compared, and there will be the error signal delta F, and it is fed to the PF controller. And again, if it is a positive, then you have to adjust the control value by using the value control mechanism, so that the frequency will be maintained as a constant. So it is a frequency sensor and comparator, and again fed to the PF controller, and PF controller will send the signal to the valve control in such a way that the turbine input will be controlled, so that the frequency will be maintained as a constant. So how it is maintained as a constant? The generation and load, this will be matched. So if both are matched, then the frequency will be the constant. If the frequency is a rise, if the frequency is increased, then what will happen? What is does it mean? That means generation is more than the demand. That may at that condition you have to decrease the generation. So you have to decrease the generation. This the turbine input will be decreased, so that output of the alternate will be decreased, so that it will match with the load, so that we can maintain the frequency as a constant. Here this control loop, so this one is like this. All these are comes under the load frequency control loop, LFC. So all this is the load frequency or megawatt generation control loop. And another one is that voltage control loop. So it is a frequency control loop, and another one is the voltage control loop. So here generated voltage, output of the alternator is there, and supply has a voltage and frequency, and this voltage sensor will measures what is the voltage of the supply. And generally the voltage at the generating stations, it will be generate the voltage at 11 kV. The voltage sensor will measure what is the voltage of the output of the alternator, and it will be fed to the comparator. Actual voltage will be fed to the comparator, actual voltage, and this will be compared with the V reference. So actually what is the voltage has to be maintained. So it is a V reference or V desired. So V desired and the actual will be compared, and there will be some error delta V, and it is fed to the QV controller. So it is a reactive power and voltage controller, and this QV controller will changes the excitation system in such a way that the excitation of the alternator will be changes, so that reactive power will be changes, and the ultimately you can control this voltage. This is what will happen in this excitation control loop. So all this it is called as a excitation control loop or voltage control loop. It is a V. Alternator output voltage will be measured by the voltage sensor, and it is given to the comparator and compared with the already predefined reference voltage value. And if there is any difference, it will be given to the QV controller. QV controller will process the error and control the excitation system, so until the voltage will be maintained at a rated value. So this is done by changing the reactive power of the system. So this is the voltage control loop or excitation control loop, and it is the load frequency control loop. So like this, these two control loops are integrated in order to maintain the frequency and voltage of the entire system. And here there is a manual control operation there. It is a power controller. This is normally done by the speed changer in the governing system. So if you, irrespective of any other conditions in the system, so if you want to generate the fixed amount of the power, then you can use this manual control operation, so that you can get the required output of the alternator, so which is a fixed one and it will not change at all. So it is a manual control operation, and it is a load frequency control consisting of the speed sensor and frequency sensor and all this, and it is another one.